So if you're new to the channel, my name's Laura. I'm an authorised marriage celebrant and have been so for over 13 years here in Australia. I have married countless of couples and I've walked them through the whole process of legal paperwork to down the aisle or back up the aisle once they're married. The role within itself encompasses quite a lot, but we're going to break down today just specifically the vows so that we can look at personalised written vows just for you. So if there are other things that you would like to know about, I do have other clips on my channel. Please like and subscribe and go in and find a little bit of knowledge or wealth or examples of how you can write or how you can put together a wedding ceremony. So let's kind of dive straight into it. We're not going to be all fuzzy wuzzy and talk about other stuff. Let's just get straight into the nitty gritty of personalised vows. So what is a personalised vow? Well, it is a promise or a dedication to the person that you're marrying. It's something that you put together in your own words, whether it's with stories or moments that you shared or had together, or whether it is simply just a poem or a dedication of some sort to your person. They are a great way to really personalize your ceremony, but it is also something that people kind of look the most to seeing at a ceremony. When you're looking at pulling together your vows, you always want to look for inspiration. Whether it comes from online, on YouTube, or watching other ceremonies on channels like this, it is a great opportunity to see what others have said, a way that they've put their words together, and really just taking the best bits that mean the most to you and joining them to create a perfect vow for what you want to say and how you want to say it. Now, you can have your celebrant write your vows for you, but really you are the person who needs to write them. You are the person who needs to pull or have the concept behind it come together. And it means so much more when it comes from the individual who has written it for the other person. Why have your own vows? Well, your own vows are your unique signature in their own right, and they create an atmosphere that people will remember based on your ceremony. It's an opportunity to say something, and it's an opportunity to express something that some people may not know or some do. It is really a dedication to the person that you're marrying. It's not a requirement to be married, but it is something in addition to a ceremony that you can write and create that just makes it a little bit more yours and unique to your day. So when do you want to start writing? Well, you want to start writing as soon as you can. You want to start getting that inspiration from wherever it may come: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You want to pull that wealth of examples together so that you can create that perfect ceremony. Your vows are like the cherry on top of a ceremony. They are one of the things, if not the most thing, that people remember about your ceremony. And it's the one thing that people do actually look most forward to seeing. But I'm here to make it a little less complicated and scary. So we're going to break it down into some steps on how to write. Step number 1. Let's think about the tone of your vows. Are they formal, informal, optimistic, hopeful, funny, loving, romantic? What sort of message or way of a message do you want to be able to convey? Now, when you think about that, you may think, well, I want romance and I want it to have some funny elements within it, or I want it formal, but I also want to still have a joke or a laugh or a bit of informal elements. That's fine. You can have multiple tones within your vows. But as a whole, when you're talking with your couple beforehand, it's good just to check that you're both having similar tones. One isn't completely dedicating their lives while the other is promising every funny little joke or household chore to the other person to do. You want to make sure your tones are on the same page. When you've got those tones in mind, I find the best way to to put those vows together is to write simple sentences. So that leads us to our next step. Number 2, which is get it out. So writing your vows is an opportunity to purge everything that you want to say to your person, whether it's love and admiration or things that you desire or believe or hope for them. They are an opportunity for you to get that all out and just pop it onto paper. You may not use it all, but it's a great opportunity. So what I always recommend is writing 1 to 2 sentences of the things that you want to say. For instance, funny things they say or do, something you love about them, their physical appearance, maybe they've got a really nice tushy, their sense of humor, maybe they're on the same wavelength as you, you've both got the same sort of black funny comedy running through you, or that you're really in tune with each other and you just get each other. Their personality or interests. Talk about a funny story or a moment. For instance, when they proposed, if you proposed, the nerves around that, when you had your first kiss, if you went on holiday together and something epic happened or failed, they would be a great opportunity to pull together some stories that you can share that are a bit meaningful or more meaningful to you. And what are some things that are thoughtful or meaningful that they do that make you feel special? So just remember, your wedding vows are for the person that you're marrying. You want to make them about them, whether it's their personal attributes, their physical appearance, their sense of humor, or who they are as a being. You want to make it about them mentally, physically, emotionally, and just with so much love. So just remember, when you're putting this together, it's not about how you feel most of the time, but it's how they make you feel, and it's all about them. Step number 3 is to create some sentences. So we're going to look at the list or the sentences that you've put together, and we're going to try and make them whole or full or a little bit more flowing. So using examples such as, what attracted me to you is, I can't imagine my life without you. I can't imagine my life without your. I remember the time when your something lights up my life. With just this, my whole life or my whole day has changed. My life is better because of. One of my greatest memories is when we met. Remember when we first met? By adding these parts within your vows, whether it's at the beginning or the end, you're starting to pull together a more cohesive vow, something that flows from the beginning to the end. And it's a great opportunity, if you're wondering or struggling to think of things, is to put these into sentences and just add those parts of your life together that makes it whole. So step number 4 is, it's all about the love. Now you have a list of all the things that you admire or that you swoon over about them. Now it's time to add the love within the ceremony. So I use these statements in order to talk about the love aspect within a couple. And it's great maybe just to answer a few of these and write a sentence or 2 down about how that person relates to these sorts of questions. So 1, why do you want to marry them? 2, when did you know you were in love with them? 3, what about them would you miss if they were not around? 4, almost went to 3 then. So 4, what about them can't you live without or that drives you crazy? So whether that's something that they do that annoys you or something that they do that you adore. 5, how did you feel when they either asked you to get married or you asked them to get married? What was going through your mind? And 6, how did you feel when they first told you they loved you? So writing down a few sentences, whether it's big or small, about those questions is adding that love aspect into your ceremony and just helping pull together so those simple statements into a little bit more of a cohesive or fluid vow. So now we move on to step number 5, where we make a pledge, promise, or commitment to the person that you're marrying. It's a time to promise to be with your partner always, and to promise them some secret or funny little vows that are just between the two of you. These can be funny, these can be specific, they can be whatever you want them to be, but it's just something for the two of you that you're promising to each other. Some great ways of wording this is statements such as, I vow to always be, I promise to love you, I pledge to be there for you, I am committed to you, and writing the sentences post that. Now we go on to step number 6. This is the promise of what's to come. It's a pledge to the future or to your hopes and dreams that you wish to create or make together. Whether it's a promise to buy a house, to have a family, whether it is a promise to buy a puppy, there is some sort of future pledge in the vows that make looking forward and the future more meaningful and more in focus. And then we move on to step number 7, a big bang. This is an opportunity for you to let everybody know at your wedding why you want to marry the person that is standing right opposite you. Statements such as long as we both shall live, forever and eternity, I will love you. You are mine and you will always be mine, and I devote my life to you. I can't imagine anybody else to spend this life with. I love you. Step number 8 is looking for inspiration. So we talked about inspiration coming from YouTube, from social media such as TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, even Pinterest. There are great examples out there in the world that we can tap into in order to create those vows and see some unique ways of putting personalized touches on vows. So this is a great opportunity to do a little bit of research, watch a few clips, see things that you like, things that you don't, and start to then pull together those statements or words that you have written together to creating those vows. 9, which is pulling everything together. We've got our statements, we've got our sentences, now we just need to make it flow. This can sometimes be one of the hardest aspects in terms of writing your vows. So if you really struggle with making them flow, that's where your celebrant can come in. You can send those statements to them and ask them to help pull it together. Or you might just want to do it yourself. That's a great opportunity to add a little bit more, take some bits out that you're not quite sure of, but also get a little lowdown on maybe what your other person's doing so that you can understand whether you're on the same page too. Now, if you're not sharing your vows with one another, this is really important where your celebrant gets involved, where they can read each other's vows and then help create those tones so that they're on the similar page and that they're in similar lengths, that they're similar emotions, and that they are both as beautiful as each other. Because one thing that I find when I'm officiating ceremonies but writing and pulling together ceremonies for couples is that there is a competitive nature around vows and everyone wanting to try and up the other person, whether it's by saying I love you the most last or first. There's always some little cheeky underlying tone where everybody wants to write beautiful vows but in a meaningful way. So those are some easy steps on pulling together your vows and writing them in a perfect way. Now, every celebrant works a little bit different, so always tap into the person and the resource of the person you have chosen to help you make your vows personal and what you want. It's a great start to have these statements, but they may have a different way of working as well. They might be able to sit there and write it for you based on a few questions that they asked, or they may be more inclined to help you pick and choose some pre-designed ones, because we all know, although we have the greatest of intentions to write, sometimes life can get in the way, and we, as celebrants, we have examples that we might have to pull or use or help to guide us to writing the perfect vows. But this 9-step process will hopefully help you pull together or start to pull together some of those very personalized aspects to create a perfect vow for your day. Just remember, it's the main reason why people turn up to your ceremony. It's the one thing that they remember the most. If you want everybody crying, you need to be able to get those vows on point, because although they listen to a celebrant, it's not our words that they remember the most. It's the couple who are standing there that are pledging and vowing themselves to each other for life that they remember. Now, good luck writing, and I wish you the very best. And if there are any sort of things that you would like help with in designing or writing or creating your ceremony or wedding, let me know, because I'd love to create more clips and more programs and channels like this that can help. So best of luck, happy writing. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.